Just some jams. You know, I usually don't put the headphones on like right before you change the scene. But sorry, I had StarCraft music on this whole time. We're just gonna enjoy this jam for now. Well, I finish up the bracket. We got KSL. We're on week 34. We're ready for some more bangers. Sorry, I was busy dancing there. Have a couple more people to seed in here. Our signups. You love the cat cam? Look at how cute he is. He's so cute. Insanely cute. Make sure everybody's checked in. I see one person currently not checked in. He doesn't seem to be online either. So it's possible that we will not have Cure in the bracket today. Would be unfortunate. This is a long song. I didn't realize it was 7 minutes. We got to transition. We got to get into StarCraft music. It's just too much. It's too much. A bracket's almost ready. I did just see somebody had an issue checking in though, so I'm like mildly worried that Cure is gonna play, but just isn't here right now. But I feel like he'd be in the channel. Don't think I'm friends with him, so not gonna help. Da-da. Other than that, everybody is currently checked in. So, I think we'll be good. Oh, why did they change this? God. Challenge. Why would you change this? I hope they updated other things in their site. Challenge updated a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know if I like it, but All right. Oh my god. Again. It's funny how some of the like semifinals are always the same. It feels like. Oh, like the quarterfinals. A lot of similar things happening. I'm going to go ahead and hit the start tournament button. And we're ready to go. I have my browser in a very specific size so that I can fit everything on my screen nicely, but it's long and skinny, and sometimes certain websites, when you shrink it down this way, it just like cuts things off that I need like access to. Okay, hold on, there's a button for it. Okay, they have a button. Challenge, you're doing good. But they used to have their stuff across the top, and now it's on the sidebar, which disappears when I shrink it this way. It's so rude. All right. Got to make sure everybody's going here. Lots of matches starting up. Oh, right. Sorry, just trying to make sure we're all good as we start. All right. Looks like we're pretty good to get into something. What can we get into? I'm going to join the party of Firefly versus Hanmano because that sounds like a really fun first match. I feel like that's the way to go. I think a light might be in Classics lobby, if I'm not mistaken. So that's good. Oh, Nightmare has an opponent. That's good. I think Dark is already in game with Bad Boars. It looks like we're pretty good. I think Mag was the only one who's probably not going to be here. From what I understand, Mag went to sleep, but Buckstar will just have to wait another 9 minutes or so to make sure. And I think we're pretty good. All right, let's cast some StarCraft. I feel like I keep humming the Indiana Jones theme. That's my bad. My mistake. Oh no, the bracket's wrong. Oh man. So sorry. Wrong bracket in chat. Give me 1 second here. Let's hop in a game. Oh, the cat cam's not supposed to be there. I mean, it's just good to have. I will fix the bracket here, and then we'll get going on this. I must have not saved the new command. Sorry. All right, bracket should be fixed. Okay, we did it. Good job, us. Let's go. Spawning in the upper right-hand corner of Hecate, we have our blue Protoss. It is Firefly. His opponent in the lower left-hand corner. We have a lot of unlegible symbols here, at least to me. But it is Han Mono. Firefly being very annoying with this probe, but Han Mono successfully getting the full eBay block, and Firefly is going to come down here and see that. And it just blocks the corner of the Nexus. It's a really nicely placed NG Bay, to be honest with you. And Han Mono's checking to see if this base is being taken. It is going to be this one for Firefly. Probe on the other side of the map. Doesn't quite have a kill. I was a little worried. SCV is getting kind of low over here. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to change the bracket command from when I was casting yesterday. Sometimes streamer forgets things. A lot to macro before these streams. And you know, I'm no good at StarCraft. My macro terrible. Han Mono cancels his NG Bay. Now the question is, where does he go from here? And it looks like he's going to do exactly what I would expect a Terran to do in this situation, which is go for Hellions. The big weakness of having your second base this out here, there's no way to wall this off to block Hellions from coming in. So if you get Hellions, or in this case, Cyclones. I kind of forgot, yeah. New Cyclone is actually very good in this situation as well. It becomes a lot harder to defend than defending the choke up to your natural like this. This is a much more easily defendable location. You have your main ramp. You can walk up and stay out of vision range very easily. especially against the Cyclone. That's not going to be possible here for Firefly, who's going to be up against a couple of Cyclones popping out right now. Mono got to send those across the map. And I assume Firefly knows what he's up against, right? He scouted this. He might be thinking Hellions as well. That was my first thought, but I think Cyclones are more likely in this day and age. The new Cyclone is just so powerful at this kind of harassment. He does have a shield battery here that's going to be crucial. See if these Stalkers can live. I love that there's some units coming after that as well. In fact, Hellions are being built behind this. And could try to sneak into the main. Actually, wouldn't hate to see the Hellions try to sneak into the main base here. Firefly does seem pretty well set up for that as well. Let's see if Mono can get some damage done. He's got to go quick if he's going to go, because otherwise more units will start showing up. The Marines here with these guys just to help them out. Are the matches live? The matches are indeed live. Marine goes down. Cyclone's trying to poke and prod here. The Warp Prism going to make this a lot more doable for Firefly. But then the 4 Hellions get into the main base. While there are some units here, there is no shield battery, and Mono is roasty toasting these probes. Needs to focus fire a couple of the last probes. Gets up to 12 of them with the 4 Hellions. That is extremely cost efficient. The Cyclones get back home and meet up with a siege tank, which should defend this from Firefly very, very nicely. Firefly gonna eat the tank shot. Does get a kill on one of the Cyclones. Would love to see a repair on the other one. But this is a great opening for the Terran. Now, killing that Cyclone could make this a little bit dicey, as there's not a lot of defense in the main. Mono gonna pull that siege tank back. I like this position. Oh, the Warp Prism in the main has nothing in it. The Stalker is going to just walk forward here. A new tank does show up. The sieged one gets taken down. The Prism comes back over to Micro. Both tanks falling, as well as the last Cyclone. The bunker trying to get up here. The Marines doing their best to push these Stalkers away and get some kills. Oh my god. These Marines need to come out here. The SCVs, so many of them going down. All that damage that Mono did is just... it's being completely negated here. 11 SCVs falling. The quad mule drop just to get the repair is kind of painful. He does get the repair. The Immortal shows up. Firefly committing very hard to this. Was not expecting that Immortal to walk across the map. In the meantime, the tank pops out just in range of an Immortal. Ooh, it gets to pull back though. Can Firefly get on top of it before it gets repaired? The answer is yes. Yes, he can. Now the Marine's going to try to push this back, but Firefly might just have too much here. All of these tanks going down. And while Mono started out with a very strong 12 worker kills and that little pressure, this follow-up from Firefly might just be too much. The SCVs are coming completely off the line here. Stim is done. Was not expecting Stim to finish. The Warp Prism gets picked off, but is there enough DPS to actually take all these units down? Even if Firefly loses everything here, he's killed so many SCVs. Oh, man, look at this Immortal go. 9 kills before it finally goes down. Of course, Firefly is going to lose all of this, but I think he's done more than enough at this point. Mono's down to 19 workers there for a second. He's trying to rebuild, but needs to get back to mining. Ooh. And it just feels like he's going to be so far behind now. Granted, Firefly lost every single unit, and is getting into charge behind this, but doesn't have like a ton of tech. That was a robo and a few gates. But Firefly has a Temple Archives going down now, a bunch of gates finishing up, and I think it's just going to have an overwhelming force in about 60 seconds. And I just don't think Mono's going to have enough to fight against it. That many charge lots. It might just be overwhelming. Mono going to drop down the turret here. I do like the forward turret. Firefly following this up with a Dark Shrine wouldn't be the most out-of-the-world possibility. Firefly definitely has some cheeky builds in there. I mean, this is a cheeky build, and I kind of love that Firefly went for this, because it's a very early heavy-hitting build, right? Getting those stalkers across the map with the Warp Prism right away, the Immortal follow-up. Very early heavy-hitting build, and it counters what Hanmano was doing perfectly. Harassment openers are very, very weak in the, like, maybe 1 to 2 minutes following the harassment. They're very weak because you're trying to get into other tech. You're trying to get a handful of units out. And while Hanmano does now have a bunch of, you know, nicely upgraded bio, they have stim and combat shields, I just don't know if it's going to be enough here. The wall could help quite a bit. The bunker siege tank, there's a bunker up in the main, which isn't really going to be that helpful here. As it looks like Firefly, well, maybe he'll drop the Archon in the main base. Stim is available for these units. The bunker at the front goes down. The tanks, though, shelling away at these Zealots. And Hanmano, with the defense, seemed to understand that he was going to just get brutally attacked. This Warp Prism is very low. Needs to be super careful as it heads into the main base. Oh, Hanmano has walled himself out of his main, though. And that's a real problem. He's going to unsiege as the Warp In comes in the main base and pull some of this bio back. The SCV is not able to mine right now. Oh my god, please be careful, SCVs. The splash damage from that Archon could be huge. The tank siege is up a lot closer. Firefly is going to lose these units if he's not careful. The Archon gets lifted up. The Immortal can get lifted up here. I'm surprised these Zealots aren't trying to go in at the same time. Whoa, the Prism's going to fall, though. Everything here dies for 8 more kills. But Firefly has a third base up. He's not super heavy on probes right now, but he could move some from the main, which is a luxury that Hanmano does not have. More SCVs going down in the natural as the tanks probably did just some friendly fire here. Hanmano is holding, but at what cost? The answer is at the cost of his opponent being able to just do whatever he wants on the other side of the map. And I don't see how Firefly isn't just going to get so far ahead. Hanmano's going to go for a third base. I mean, I guess so. I guess macro it out. It's a pretty bad position for Hanmano. I find it very hard to see a way for him to get himself out of this. He's going to have to do some severe damage to Firefly or take fantastic trades. I mean, they've been good, but I don't know. 500 resources doesn't quite make up for this, you know? Doesn't quite cover it. Oh. Part of me wants to leave this game to make sure I can cover Gumiho Oliveira when that happens. I'm kind of hoping this game ends soon because I'm going to wait for Gumiho Oliveira. Gumiho already won his match, and I don't think Oliveira is going to be too far behind. I know this is going to be an interesting match. I just really don't want to miss that one. Or Dark Classic, but I think the Ducklings are going to be in Dark Classic. I'm sad we don't have Steadfast in here tonight. Dave too busy casting ESL, probably. Too busy being a professional. Firefly just macroing back at home. Hanmano taking this third base, but is now down 40 supply. I mean, Firefly could be further ahead. Only at 56 probes right now. It's become a very passive game. Where Hanmano's just turtling and trying to build as much stuff as possible. And hoping to take the most amazing trade in the world. The thing is, I feel like Firefly's just going to have overwhelming numbers. Oh, and the upgrades, too. The +2 armor Gonna really add something here to all these zealots. How many zealots are on the field right now? 39. Jesus. Here he comes. On mono, can he hold? He has Ghost. He EMP'd some of the zealots, but he's gonna lift up. Oh, and that's just not gonna work for him. I mean, Firefly's gonna play it safe and just go for the kill on this base, but he is up 60 army supply. He's gonna get this base just barely with these stalkers. And I think no matter how good the trades are, they're actually bad. They've actually not been very good at all here for Han Mono. He just doesn't have enough. He doesn't have enough. And that's going to be GG. There you go. He tried to fight it out. But Firefly able to take game number 1. Man, are you... I think we missed Gumiho Oliveira, dude. Oh. I actually can't believe that. I'm so sad. Literally, as I was saying it, they must have been getting into game. All right. Well, I'm gonna cover. I'm gonna cover Solar's match then. Am I? They started too. That's so rude. Damn. All right, well, I guess I left that match for nothing. Aw, dude. Need to smile anyways. I guess I do. I guess I do need to smile. Every time I try to get into Gumiho Oliveira, it doesn't work. This is like the 3rd time it hasn't worked. Pretty rude, though. No, it's okay. I was just gonna hop into the lobby, but I clicked the button too late. Or, I don't know, it was posted too late or something. It's weird. It wouldn't let me just join off of Solar. So Battle.net really made that a problem. It was rude by Battle.net more than anything else. I hadn't asked. I was just going to join. I didn't realize it was going to start immediately as I said that. And somebody did link the lobby, but by the time I clicked the button, it was too late. Just unfortunate timing, honestly. Just like genuinely the worst timing. Because I had just told Hanmano and Firefly, like, go ahead, we're going to catch something else. And then I go to join the Solar lobby and it's gone. Big sad. Major sadness. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Because, listen, as much as I love Slip, Solar is he's gonna crush that one. It was really to prepare for Solar versus Nightmare. But we can still get into Solar versus Nightmare. Nightmare's still in game with Rewhite, so because we missed Gumiho Oliveira, I'm assuming we missed Gumiho Oliveira. I'm like pretty confident they're in game. I'm not 100% sure. I'm like pretty sure. I just wanted to get into one of the other round of 8 matches because Dave was casting Firefly Hanmono, so I was hoping to get into Gumiho Oliveira so that we could cover multiple matches. Because the Ducklings are going to cover Classic versus Dark. I could hop into that one too. That's going to be a really good match. Be a great YouTube match. But I kind of want to make sure we get the other replays too. You know what? Somebody was casting. Is somebody? I don't know who this is. I don't know if somebody's casting Solar versus Slip. That could hop into Solar Nightmare. Mostly I'm just concerned with getting all the replays. I can't usually count on the players to give me replays. Some of them do. A lot of them just don't check Discord though. So I'll message them and I just like won't get a response. Which is fair. I mean, it's, you know, it happens, but it means I just try to get as much coverage as possible. Well, here we go. We can get into game 2 of Solar Slip. Maybe. Please. Maybe not. RIP. Cover all them bases. Trying to. The round of 16 matches don't like usually matter as much. I know there are people who want to see those, I'm sure. Some of them more than others, but the round of 8 matches are like the really important ones to get all the replays from. I try to get as many round of 16 ones as I can too. You know, people pay. People pay good money for that. Fucking Dave. Oh, the Liquipedia is empty. I knew. It's alright. Hopefully we get some Liquipedia peeps in soon. Is this Korea? It is Korea. We are playing on the Korean server. I mean, I'm not in Korea. I don't know if you're in Korea. A lot of the players are in Korea. We are waiting for a match to begin or end. We might have... The Dark versus Classic still hasn't started. Okay, they're going to start right now. The Cranky Ducklings are casting Dark versus Classic. I'm going to get into Solar versus Nightmare, which should be starting soon. What's up, Tater Tooter? Alright. Yeah. Solar versus Nightmare. Once these guys are ready, get into that PVZ. Just a little GSL champion playing in the KSL. Solar's so cool. He's so cute. Look at him all curled up in there. He's so far back on the little tree. So cute. All right, Solar invited me to the lobby. We're good to go. It took us 100 years, but we finally got ourselves a match. Oh, I'll do a prediction for this one. Oh, wow. Nightmare was even the last person I did a prediction with. Look at that. Makes it so easy. When Hug Kitty Points reward? It's a good question. That's a good question. Actually, I got treats today that he likes. So, treats reward coming soon. Soon, TM. Probably going to be a lot of points, so it doesn't happen too often. But just keep that in mind. As we hop into game one of this best of three PVZ, Spawning in the lower left-hand corner of Alcyone, we have Onside Gaming Solar, the current reigning GSL champion. His opponent in the upper right. Gonna have an uphill battle here. For Metrino Esports, it is Nightmare. Certainly a strong Protoss, but I don't know, man. Up against Solar? Whew. Nightmare just cast him yesterday playing against Christianer, and Christianer gave him the old 3-0 in that best of 5. It is PvP, obviously a very different matchup, but I don't know. I don't know if that bodes well for Nightmare. Or maybe that made him salty. Maybe he got mad. Like, I can't believe it. Now he's going to play with the extra juice. Solar, I have a feeling we're going to see some very standard play out of Solar. He's got some cheeky builds up his sleeves for sure. Solar knows how to throw a build order out there or two. Maybe a cheese if he needs to, but I have a feeling in this match he's going to be playing pretty standard. Nightmare is going to be the one who's going to have to do something about it. Sorry, getting distracted by messages here. I can't read and speak at the same time. It's a skill. It's a skill you have to learn, and I have not learned it. You know what I always I'm like afraid of if I was gonna do a live event is I know in a lot of the live events they'll have like the producer in the headphones, in the headset that not often the casters, but usually like the desk hosts are wearing. The producers will be able to speak to them. And you have to like keep a conversation going about StarCraft while somebody in your ear is talking to you about production, which sounds so hard. Like, major props to the desk hosts and Caleris and Nathanius and everybody who does that kind of production work where somebody's talking in your ear while you're trying to host a show. Because I can't even, like, do those things normally. I struggle keeping my train of thought when nobody's talking. I'll just interrupt myself with with more thoughts. If somebody started talking to me, I'd, like, say a bunch of nonsense words and go silent. It is a pretty normal opening here out of Nightmare. He's got the Void Ray, which could lead to weird things. Sometimes the Void Ray indicates a cheesy follow-up because it really stops scouting from happening. And, well, I don't know if this is what you consider cheese. Straight to Fleet Beacon as that third base goes down. You know, that might be considered cheese. I like this choice, though. I feel like I've seen SkyToss do quite well against the top Zergs lately. Which is, I don't know, I feel like that hasn't always been the case. But for some reason, right now, SkyToss is feeling pretty good. Maybe because we saw so much ground play for so long at the top level that it's like, sometimes it comes back around, you know? Forge going down as well, so Nightmare's going to go for the full cannon, shield battery, defense into... Oh, Tempests. Okay, that's not what I was expecting. This is now much more interesting. So Tempest, this is a much more technical play. Yeah, we're going to see the Tectonic Destabilizer start up as well here for Nightmare. So Tempests. Tectonic Destabilizers means that Tempest will do bonus damage to buildings. So any Spore Crawlers that come up, maybe they could go for a hatchery. Worst comes to worst, they can pick off like an extractor or something. But I think it takes 5 Tempests to one-shot a Queen. That might be the number we're looking for here for Nightmare. 4 or 5 running across the map. Solar is looking for a scout. He doesn't know what he's up against yet. And that's always a scary place to be, right? You don't want to be up against something you're not sure of. Right now, he's just getting Roach Speed, Evo Chamber. He is going to drop a Spire, and this is crucial. This is an excellent move from Nightmare. And I think this is Nightmare scouting over and over and over again and seeing the same exact set of 4 units here defending. No other units warping in. There's no robo units coming down. There's nothing. There's no tech at all. Which means Nightmare is hiding his tech, which pretty much guarantees it's going to be air. So I love the Spire play here from Solar. And if there's one thing that just kind of dumpsters a group of Tempests, it's a big group of Corruptors. But the Tempests are coming across the map now. More Queens on the way out. Solar maybe preparing to lose the Queens he has. The problem here for Nightmare is he hasn't been harassing basically at all. So Solar's chilling at 77 workers. And while some Queens might end up going down, I mean, the Spire's about to finish. And these Tempests have so far done, I'm going to go ahead and say nothing. Now, the 5th one is here, which means 1 shots can happen on the Queens now. I think 2 shots of Spore Crawler as well. Nightmare. Hanging out a little too close. Transfuse keeping that alive for a little bit longer. 11 Corruptors on the way. Nightmare is starting to gun down these Queens. The base is staying alive. And I think Solar is going to be able to last in the defense until these Corruptors come out. And the moment Nightmare sees those, he's got to back up. In fact, I think he's got a recall. Oh my god, but he misses the recall on one of the Tempests. That is painful. That's an extra Tempest going down. One of them died and would have died anyways. But that second one did not need to die. Nightmare's trying to pump out some Void Rays to defend against the Tempest, just running across the map and winning the game. But, I mean, this is a great spot for Solar. He just took basically no damage. I mean, sure, he lost some stuff, right? Some Queens and a Spore Crawler. But basically no damage on a better economy. And now he's going to be able to take a 5th base. He's trying to poke across the map. He does have to be careful here. With the Archon on the ground, a bunch of Void Rays could prismatically align and cause some real issues for these Corruptors. They're just trying to find a way in and maybe pick off another Tempest. But with all these Void Rays coming out, I think what we're going to need to see Solar do is get into some Spellcasters. Parasitic Bomb, especially if you're able to combine it with a Fungal, is so massive on the Void Rays. They clump so brutally. They do not have a ton of hit points. They only have 250 total hit points. So a Fungal Parasitic Bomb combo, a huge chunk of their health. The carrier is going to dive in. One of them goes down for really nothing here. Just kind of scouting the base. See what's going on. I'm really surprised we're not seeing any Spellcasters out of Solar. In fact, he's still just on a lair. And it looks like he's just going to try to put this pressure on and go for the kill, but I actually don't like this move from Solar. Nightmare's almost maxed, and his army has a big vulnerability, and Nightmare is, or Solar rather, is not going to take advantage of it at all. Just pressing forward with the Roaches here. The Super Shield Battery really helping to keep these units alive. Archon's pushing away the Corruptors. The Queens are super late to the party and have no creep to stand on. And that means they can't transfuse, and they are way too slow. They're all going to die. Solar just lost a lot. And, I mean, that was a terrible trade. It's getting worse. Oh my god, 13 drones going down to a handful of Zealots getting into the natural. Solar! Drones getting into this space as well. Oh no, dude, he is falling apart right now. And Nightmare's in here killing this base, and his ground army is looking terrifying. I mean, it's just Zealots and Archons, but against pure Roach, it's actually not bad at all. I think Nightmare's about to win this game, and I think Solar has to be kicking himself. I mean, he's not dead yet, but we got more Zealots getting in here. 2 bases just went down. The Archon's body blocking for these Void Rays. I will say, Nightmare is not currently producing any more Stargate units. So it's just going to be a ground army from here on out for Nightmare. He's going to go for a recall on the Void Rays. Nightmare, keep pulling these units back. But he's got Storm on the way, Blink on the way. He's trying to get into a decent ground army. I mean, Storm here would be so huge. Roaches don't take a ton of damage to Storm, but it would still be massive. It's not quite done yet, though. But with cannons and shield batteries defensively, I feel like Nightmare's just going to have enough to hold on to this. The Void Rays going to prismatically align and really push the Roaches and Corruptors backwards. Storm is done, and there's a juicy Storm. And Solar cannot hang around anymore. The problem here for Solar is he lost both of these bases. He's only now retaking his 4th. It's not done yet. He's down in workers. He's down in bases. And Nightmare's army is about to have +2 on the ground. He's got Storm. He's got a ton of Blink Stalkers and some Archons. I mean, this is a very good army from Nightmare. The Void Rays helping as well. And yeah, the Corruptors can beat the Void Rays, but that's all these Corruptors can really do. And they are getting stormed right now. They're getting absolutely demolished in the sky. Look how low they all are. Looks like there might not be any storms left. Oh no, one more storm gonna finish them off. And yeah, Solar forced to tap out. Solar tried to brick wall his way through Nightmare, and Nightmare was fully ready for it. Honestly, Nightmare had so much stuff. I don't think Solar was expecting Nightmare to have the ground army already building up when he attacked. A bunch of charge lots. He had Archons, plus the cannons and shield batteries there, just helping out. But I think the Archons was the real trick, because it also pushed the Corruptors away from the air army. I really don't think Solar was expecting Nightmare to have that much. But we tried to start it with me in the player spot. There we go. Took some micro to get back into it. All right, we're good. Yeah, I mean, it was a solid build from Nightmare. It was a solid build from Nightmare, but I think Solar just he had a specific response to what he thought Nightmare was doing, and it wasn't what Nightmare was actually doing, and it turned out to be a complete build order loss for our Zerg player, who's now spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Oceanborn in Game 2. For Onside Gaming, it is Solar. We almost just started this game with me versus Solar, which would have been hilarious, and would not have gone quite like that last game, where the Protoss won his opponent in the lower right-hand corner. For Maturino Esports, it is Nightmare, taking Game 1 off of the GSL champion. Let's go, Nightmare. I really think Solar was expecting, honestly, maybe even a carrier follow-up from Nightmare. And, you know, carriers take a really long time to build. Just in general. They take a long time to build, then you have to wait for all the interceptors to come out. They're very slow. So even once they pop out, they still have to, like, get to the rest of your army, or they can lag behind other parts of the army, particularly Void Rays. So if you're getting into carriers, it can be a really dicey situation Where, yeah, if Solar hits with a maxed army against Nightmare at like 165 supply trying to get carriers out, Nightmare might just not have enough to hold on. But in that last game, Nightmare went for Charge Lots and Archons, and those build a lot quicker. That transition was beautifully smooth from Nightmare. From the Air Army with the Tempests, the Void Rays to hold down against the immediate Corruptors, and then straight into the Charge Lot Archon. And it held Solar's push so well that Nightmare was able to counter push and do all of that damage. But it really comes back to the decision from Solar to not tech up beyond that, right? We saw when he attacked, he was on lair tech. He could have taken a base, gone to Hive, maybe pressured, but he committed fully to the attack. He brought the queens with it, and he ended up just losing way too much, being super aggressive, hyper aggressive. And Nightmare on the counterattack, getting a ton of damage done, and then again transitioning beautifully into Storm and Blink, so that when Solar did his, shove back across the map with whatever he had left, the Roaches and the Corruptors, I mean, Storm and Blink just kind of dominated him. He just didn't have the technicality in his army to deal with it. It was a really interesting game in terms of the fact that the strategy is what won there. It was a strategy hard counter, but not like a build order opening hard counter. A lot of times when there's a strategic hard counter in a game of StarCraft, it's like in the first couple of minutes. But that was Solar making a very specific decision for a very specific situation. And honestly, maybe it was Nightmare trying to convince him it was that situation, right? Maybe Nightmare was trying to be kind of tricky with the Charge Lot Archon transition so that Solar would come across the map and be surprised by it, right? Maybe he knew Solar's response to that. I'm sure these guys play against each other often enough where Nightmare might be like, oh, you know what I bet would crush that Roach Queen Corruptor push that he likes to do when I do this build? What if I just hot swap to Zealots right at this point? It's a little hard to say if that was the game plan or if Solar just misread it, but always good to give credit to the winning player too. The Nightmare did open with another Void Ray opener here, which is going to go ahead and supply block Solar. The Adepts decide against shading in, but Nightmare is going into the Twilight Council after this. And it looks like it could be either Blink or Charge, depending on where Nightmare wants to go with it. I feel like I have been seeing more Blink again. I think Blink is a bit of a more fun style. Usually Charge ends up being kind of passive, whereas Blink, you do have to be kind of active with the Blink Stalkers. Blink Stalkers are some of the best value units you can have if you have the micro for it. They can get just such excellent value, but you need to go take trades with them. You need to trade out the Zerg's units for nothing, essentially. Force them to keep building units, maybe slow the creep spread. It's a very important part of the Blink Stalker build. Whereas Zealots are just kind of good units, so you can just get Charge and chill and get the rest of your tech up. Nightmare's third base up and running. Blink and +1 are on the way. And this is looking pretty nice. This is what you want to see. I like this little pressure as well. Just getting some kills. Delaying this creep. All these creep doomers went down. There's some queens putting those down earlier. All gone. And Solar is like, you know what? I should have built a hive last game. What if I just build a hive at like 6.5 minutes this time? What if I just do that? Like, all right, fair enough. Apparently recently, Mio Micah had a 4-minute infestation pit to get some infestors out against the Terran 4 racks. What a build that must have been. But this is a build here as well. Nightmare proxying a gateway. He is going to have quite a few gates coming up here. That's a 7 and 8. 8 gates of Blink Stalkers coming at Solar right now. Solar trying to get just some units out to defend, and I was talking about a Hive, but he is going to go for an Infestor. I don't know if Solar realized exactly what he is up against. Oh, the Stasis Trap here could be big. Solar needs to be very careful against that. The Void Ray coming in to try to help out as well. Great target fire from Nightmare. Focusing on the Roaches with the Void Ray that does extra to the armored units. And that way the Stalkers can take better fights against the Queens. Nightmare's starting to feel like he's pushing through. The Void Ray goes down, but the Void Ray is not the most important thing here. However, I don't think Nightmare knows about this Infestor. Can the Infestor get a fungal? Oh, the Blink. Nightmare. That was a sick dodge on that fungal. A couple of Stalkers do get caught, but he's continuing this pressure. The Stasis Ward is still here to fall back to. Nightmare trying to push up this ramp. He doesn't have high ground vision, I believe. So that's a bit of a dicey proposition, but he's got more Stalkers showing up. Solar supply is plummeting, and oh my god, the upset of the day is Nightmare taking the 2-0 victory over Solar. The GSL champion Solar getting knocked out by Nightmare. StarCraft, baby. That's StarCraft, baby. You'll love to see it. Damn. I guess that makes sense, you know? Solar, he's out there, bright and sunny, but you only have Nightmares in the dark. Who, funnily enough, might be the next opponent of Nightmare. No. Classic took down Dark. Not a good day for Zergs in this bracket. Dark and Solar both getting knocked out in the round of 8. That's kind of insane. Wow. So we have a PvP semifinals. There's actually a lot of Protoss going on in this bracket. Guess it's time for a Terran to win. I mean, there's a very real possibility of that. We do have a Terran in the semifinals on the top side of the bracket. I don't know which Terran. I'm going to assume that Oliveira beat Anticore 2-0. No offense to Anticore. World champion, though. Sorry, updating some scores right now. Okay. Who plays Gumi God? It is going to be Gumiho and Hero. So it seems. Just trying to keep all the scores updated. The whole top side of the bracket got delayed. I was delayed. But we're all caught up now. All right. And we have Hero versus Gumiho. That'll be next. The Cranky Ducklings, as well as Dave Testa, are covering Nightmare versus Classic. So if you want good casting, check out the Cranky Ducklings. If you want fun casting, check out Dave Testa. Trying to get the replays to Gumiho Oliveira. Might cover those after. Somebody did cast it, so we have Gumiho Oliveira replays. You'll love to see it. I want the good and fun caster, which is right here. I mean, what can I say? You know, I'm like the best of both worlds. All right. Do a bet for this one if you guys want to predict who's going to win. You think Gumi? I mean, it's a fair guess. Honestly, it's pretty tough. I think I would give it to Hero, but like 58%. Not very heavily. That might even be 58%. Yeah, I'll go 58%. I give it to Hero. Do you stand on a fatigue mat? No, but I do have a rug. I'm wearing socks. I actually stand all day, so my feet are kind of used to it. I find that if I cast for more than 4 hours standing, I start to get, even like at about 3.5 hours, my feet start to get a little bit tired of it. But I have a chair here, so sometimes I'll sit down in between games or while we're waiting. I feel like Gumiho in a prepared match against Hero takes him out, especially like best of 5, best of 7. Like a best of 5 prepared match, I think Gumiho probably, his odds probably eclipse Hero's. But random open bracket best of 3, not Gumiho's strong point. And I actually kind of feel like it is Hero's strong point. Hero has won so many KSLs, and he's for sure beaten Gumiho in a bunch of them. Gumiho doesn't do as well in these as he does in like a GSL. Again, it's just not his strong suit. That was super weird. It just showed me as live to me in BattleNet. That's really strange. I don't like that. Illegal Light says Hero has a 75% chance of winning in a best of 3. Damn. That's higher than I would have expected. I do think that's a lot of the like open bracket stuff though. Nice. We got the replays. Hopefully we get into this soon. I want to go refill this drink. But I don't want to miss this lobby. Just gonna ask him not to start without me. I'll be back momentarily. He's so cute. What's up, Senju? Half awake. I mean, he's a cat, so I feel like he doesn't fully go to sleep very often. He's always like pretty aware of what's going on around him. Not like me. For sure not like me. Cat's name is Officer Everything Bagel. That's right. What is happening? Sorry. Okay, we're good. I think somebody's imitating me in the like, what is going on? All right. Well, either somebody's imitating me or BattleNet's doing something really weird. It doesn't matter. We're finally getting into the game. You guys did your predictions. Hero is the favored to win by chat. And we're getting in to game number 1 of our semifinals. Here on Hecate, spawning in the lower left-hand corner, we've got the Red Terran. One of my favorite players of all time, looking very strong this year. It is Gumiho. He's had some excellent results. Hasn't quite been able to take home the cake, but he's been looking damn fine. Some of the best play I've ever seen from him this year. His opponent in the upper right-hand corner, though, well, he's won more KSLs than anybody else, and I think that says all you need to say. For Dragon Kites Gaming, it's Hero. Yeah, sorry, right before this, I was really thrown off. I think somebody either was trying to imitate me to get into KSL games, which is possible. It's possible somebody's trying to be cheeky. Although, you could get all these replays for just $5 a month on the Patreon. So, you don't need to imitate me and try to get into, matches. You can just $5 a month on the Patreon, you'll get all the replays. I send them all out like usually a couple hours after the tournament ends. Try to be pretty prompt with it. Or Battle.net was being weird. Because the second Chickenman showed up in the chat channel for this with the same portrait I use. I need to join the Psystorm clan on Korea, is what I'm learning. Because clan tags are a way to differentiate. For now, I just changed my portrait to something almost nobody is likely to have. It's like a really, really specific portrait that I bought a few years ago that I don't think is available to purchase anymore. I think it was only available to purchase for a short period of time. That'll make it harder to imitate me if I have a portrait that nobody else can use easily. But okay, we have Hero versus Gumiho. Ooh, Reaper is going to be able to sneak away here. Gumiho going into a pretty quick Cyclone. Not too surprising. And it's a Stargate opening from Hero. Now, we were just talking before this game started, Chat and I, that is, about how these guys might fare up against each other. As the Cyclone gets the kill on that Adept there. Gumiho tends to do better, I think, in, well, for one, bigger tournaments. This year we've seen it a lot, but I feel like Gumiho is a player who does great on stage. He's been doing it for so long. And I feel like under the lights, under the pressure, for some people that brings out better gameplay from them. But also, Gumiho is a very build order focused Terran, right? He's got some really crazy builds he's pulled out, and he's a very smart player. He knows all the best builds, and he'll come up with new stuff for all those major tournaments. So it makes it really hard to play against him. But he is bringing out a cheeky build here against Hero, trying to put some pressure on with these two Cyclones. Now, there could be an overcharge available for Hero, but he's not going to be able to use it right now. Might not even need it, as he's going to get these Phoenixes out. 3 of them is going to be enough to take down both of these Cyclones. The Adept stayed alive, the Reaper goes down, and Gumiho ends up losing everything for absolutely no value there. Didn't get a single kill with those units when they pushed across the map. And now he's got to defend against these Phoenixes. Such a good defense from Hero. I love Phoenix openings for this reason. They're so good against harassment-based openers. Hero, though, really pushing in. The repair on that Cyclone going to help keep it alive for a little bit longer, but it does go down. One of the Phoenixes falls, though. Looks like an Adept went down on the way out, too. Phoenix is going to try to get some harassment here, but the Marines are there to push them away, stop them from sticking around too long. But, yeah, I would say in a big tournament, I might favor Gumiho a little bit here. This year, he's looked very strong. And Hero, while I think he is still an extremely strong Protoss, I don't know that he has the dominance, particularly in this matchup, that maybe he has in other matchups or has had in the past. But in an open weekly like this, I think Hero really shines. I think his standard solid play is very solid. And he's a really tough opponent. I mean, there's a reason that he's won so many of these KSLs. He's taken down some of the best players in the world to get those wins. And I think Hero's going to be favored here. Apparently, Aligulac agreed, too. Hero's favored in this best of 3. That doesn't mean Gumiho can't take it, though. He is the Gumi God, after all. He was just a finalist in GSL. And Hero actually got knocked out very early in that GSL. It was a surprising knockout. Both Hero and Maru going out in the round of 16 was crazy. It's just not what you expect. Hero and Maru, two of just the strongest players in the world. But it was a very cool GSL. Now, of course, Hero's going for the follow-up of the Colossi. Thermal Lance coming out. It's a pretty standard follow-up to the Phoenixes. Gumiho's going to move across the map, but this is exactly why you go for Colossi. A big group of Marines is actually just not scary when you have a Colossus out, especially if it's near a shield battery. Oh, but I love this on top of the ramp. Such a good position for these units. Phoenix is going to get the kill on the Colossus as the Observer is keeping an eye on everything. The scan up to the high ground, but Gumiho cannot stick around. He's going to boost away, but what is this? That is a Widow Mine drop. And the armory is done. So these Widow Mines have perma invis with their burrow. Hero's going to have to get an Observer over here to detect them. One Widow Mine going to connect. The Phoenixes won't die to that. And the ground army defending. Gumiho trying to move into the natural. So far, not a ton of damage here. And it looks like all of the Widow Mines are going to go down for just 2 probes. And some damage onto a Phoenix. Feels like a lot of investment this game for Gumiho that is not paid off. Sure, he's gotten some kills here and there, but not good trades to start things off, especially since Hero has been on this third base for a while and has been mining more the last couple of minutes here. Speaking of champions getting bopped, we were talking about it in GSL, but the recent GSL champion Solar already knocked out of this tournament in the round of 8 by maybe the least expected opponent. Nightmare able to take him down 2-0. That was the last match we cast. I mean, just very surprising. Honestly, solid build from Nightmare in game 1, but just such a crisp game 2 build. He knew he was ahead 1-0. He went for it, and he got the W. Really, really great play from Nightmare. I love to see him with a good performance here, getting to a round of 4. And he's up against Classic in the round of 4. I feel like Nightmare versus Classic, even though Classic's been looking so strong lately, Nightmare's got a very solid chance in that best of 3, dude. He wins PvPs all the time against Classic. All the time. I think. If my memory serves. I might not be Roddy, but I do remember some things. Gumiho's trying to get into quad Viking production. He has a Ghost Academy on the way. He's teching up. He's getting some of this stuff out. But Hero doesn't want to wait for him to get those Vikings out. He doesn't want to wait for those Ghosts to come out. He just wants to hit him now. There's only, what, 5 Vikings out. These Phoenixes can help buffer that a little bit. Gumiho, though, ooh, 4 more popping. And he's getting set up. He sees this coming. No Widow Mines here for Gumiho, but Hero is going to dive in. He's going to go for it. The Archon's buffering forward. The stim a little bit late for Gumiho, and he's just pulling all the way back into his main ramp, pulling the Marines backwards away from the Colossi, but this is just a terrible engagement for Gumiho, I think, and Hero's going to have way too much. The Vikings will start killing these Colossi finally, but I think they've already done their damage. I mean, Hero is in this base. He's killing SCVs in the natural. He is very disjointed. So the Archons in the main are going to go down. And then these units might be next to fall here, but so many workers falling for Gumiho that even though he is going to hold and he's going to get the big kills, Hero on 4 bases on the other side of the map is now up A lot of workers. It's not as bad for Gumiho as I would have expected, though. It really felt like a killing blow. But being able to kill those Colossi and then having some Marines left over, the landed Vikings to finish off those Archons, Gumiho holds and just kind of resets Hero's army. Again, Hero on the better economy should be able to resupply a bit quicker. But the 4th base was barely saturated. And I think this is probably a big reason why Gumiho was able to take a decent fight at the end there. Look at these upgrades for Gumiho. He's on +2, +1. Hero only has +1 attack. He is down 2 full upgrades right now. And Gumiho continuing, he's got that +3 attack on the way as well. And now he can start getting ghosts out. Oh, the Zealots getting in though. Landed Vikings again trying to take these out, but 7 more SCVs go down. Gumiho is very good at replenishing workers, which is why even though he lost 13 earlier, he still had quite a few left. Hero moving up to the top of the ramp though, going for the storms. Where are the ghosts? No ghosts have come out. That Ghost Academy is done. And the lack of ghosts here is actually so painful. If there were like 2 ghosts out, this would be so different. But Hero is just going to push through. And there is the GG. Gumiho trying to get that bio army up, neglects the ghosts. But man, just 2 ghosts there. And it's such a different story. But there were no ghosts. No 2 ghosts came out, so Hero able to push through. Just a very solid opening from Hero into a good push. A good follow-up push. He took the lead pretty early. Just didn't let it go. Didn't let Gumiho take it back. Hero is a killer. I mean, there's a reason that his nickname was the Smiling Assassin. I don't think people refer to him as such too much anymore. His playstyle is quite different, but he has that killer instinct. He has that, like, when he decides you're going to die, he will do everything in his power to make that happen, and he's often very right about it. He has that killer instinct, absolutely. And it's one of the things that makes him so exciting to watch. And what makes his matches against Dark, which we get often in the KSL, so entertaining, because both of those guys are similar in that way. They'll just go kill you. And he did kill him in this last game. He killed his Terran opponent, who's now spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Site Delta. It is Gumiho. His opponent, the upper left-hand corner. The aforementioned Protoss, it is a Hero. Gumiho just joined a team. C9. That's right. I was trying to think. I was like, wait, there was a big announcement recently. What was the big announcement? Gumiho just joined a team, but not only that, he joined C9, which is a major esports organization that has never been a part of StarCraft. They've been around quite a long time, but they did start a few years after StarCraft, you know, had already been in the scene for a few years. So they didn't start for StarCraft. They never really got into it. Oh my god, the kill on the probe. Sloppy play from Hero. But it's really cool to see C9 jumping into StarCraft now. And I know that it's because of the Gamers 8 tournament, which the next year one was announced. They have a thing where teams get money just based on how they perform in multiple esports rather than one. So it really, StarCraft's a really smart investment for that. You know, you get a player like Gumiho in there who's, you know, pretty solidly expected to do well. And it's just one player. You're not investing a ton. You don't even have to like have training. It's just like Gumiho's already got it. You just got to pay him some money and he'll, it's dividends. Easy peasy. So great choice from C9, honestly. And I think and I hope that it'll work out for them. But it's just exciting to have him in StarCraft, and I hope that you know, that spurs other teams to look into StarCraft. We have still a handful of teamless players, I think. But it's always good to have new faces join us, especially when they're not really new faces and we have some trust in the organizations, because the new faces are scary, but C9's not that new, so they're a little less scary. We'll just hope that Gumiho doesn't forget to touch the point at the last second. Not that that ever happens, but it could. A similar build here from Gumiho. He does have a couple extra Marines this time, but Reaper into the Cyclone. The Reaper doing some damage to the Zealot. The recall here from Hero. Hero, I think, expecting that Zealot to hit the other side of the map. And it looks like Gumiho is going to do that. So the Reaper goes in, goes out. But this pulls all the pressure off of Gumiho. Just at the expense of that one SCV. Doesn't even have to get the Cyclone out here. Hero just runs away. He's like, you know what? I'm out. But I'm also stoked to see Gumiho doing so well. Again, he has been one of my favorite players for a very long time. And I believe he did his military service, right? And he was gone for a few years. Came back, and it took him a little while, but man, he's been looking so good the past year. It's been so sick seeing how well he's been playing again. And not just like figuring out how to use mech in current era. Gumiho's just like standard play is so good. He beats the best players in the world at TVT like kind of frequently. He's going to try to come in here now. This is a nice little push. He's got a couple of Cyclones. He's got the medevac full of Marines, mostly full of Marines. But we have Phoenixes again out of Hero. The medevac's going to hit the main base and start dropping some Marines out. This is a one-way trip for this medevac. That is a dead medevac. But the Cyclones at the front are going to take down the shield battery. They could go for the pylon as well and try to depower this Robo. Oh, Gumiho backs up. That's going to allow the Immortal to get out. I assume all of these units died. Yeah, the medevac, the 6 Marines, the Reaper all went down. So Hero pushes this away without too much effort. But Gumiho doesn't lose his Cyclones, which is the important thing. Losing that drop is a bit painful, though. But yeah, when players who have gone to their military service come back and do very well, it gives me a lot of hope. I think once upon a time, the idea was if you went to your mandatory military service as a Korean pro gamer, that was it, right? That was your retirement. But we've seen a few times now players come back from that military and have great performances. And Gumiho is one of the top examples of that. Beyond as well, and a number of other players. And it gives me hope because we have some other players who have recently returned or are still in the military. Chat's talking about Zest right now. Love Zest. And it gives me hope that, yeah, they might be able to come back, right? Zest might come back and start playing again and give us some good old-fashioned Zest action. We have Stats and SOS have been playing more. Sue. Lots of the goats. DRG. Oh yeah, Hero. I forgot. Actually, Hero went to his military service too. It's actually a lot of the Korean players at this point. A lot of the top Korean players have already done their military service. So as I'm talking about how Gumiho isn't just the Mech Terran anymore, he's going to do us all a massive favor and give us a Mech Terran game. He's getting the speed upgrade here for the Cyclones. I can't remember what it's called. It's got a fun name. Cheek a little bit of auto turret harassment here. There's Phoenixes out though, so like, I feel like this is the sacrificial trip for the Raven. Can it drop one more? Gets one more down. Oh, it's gonna get the kill. Nope, just barely not. Oh well. Tried, you know? The Raven tried. Keeps the Phoenixes at home at least. It's another Phoenix Colossus build out of Hero. But he's not up against Bio this time. He is up against Mech. There's quite a few Marines out, but these Marines are just like early game buffer for the mech. I love that Gumiho built them. But yeah, I mean, this isn't mech, guys. This is Cyclone. We got 5 Cyclones building at a time right here. Just an insane amount of Cyclone production. And I don't think Hero fully realizes it yet. Yeah, Hero hasn't scouted in like a hot minute. He has no idea what's going on the other side of the map. He's just playing fully defensively. He's going to send the Hallucinated Phoenix across now. And he's going to scout this. Now, I kind of don't hate Hero's army against this. Like, Colossi, Immortals, and Charge Lots, I actually think are kind of good here for him. But we'll see how it goes. Gumiho has really gotten away with it. And I think Hero now knows what he's up against. Yeah, it looks like he went in deep enough to get the scout on the units that were there, the big group of Cyclones. So Hero knows he's up against this now. But look at the supplies, man. Gumiho jumping way ahead in the army supply. Now, again, a lot of that is taken up by the 11 Marines that, you know, not going to be super helpful in the fight. They're not going to be getting any upgrades. They don't have combat shields or stim. They're just extra buffer units. And Hero's going to go for a push. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go. I haven't seen this army that Gumiho's going for up against the army that Hero's going for. Tank goes for the unsiege, but right as the rest of the army comes in, are the Cyclones going to go for some micro? Very little, it seems. Very little, and they're going to kill all of these Phoenixes. Hero decides to back up. He has all his robo units alive. He didn't lose any of his robo units, but he lost every single other unit he had. He's just going to warp in a bunch more Zealots and go for it again, hitting this time on the left side. There are still a couple of tanks left, though, and I feel like Gumiho's well set up for the defense. So far, the trades have been in the Terran's favor, and he's got Hellions heading towards the other side of the map. One Stalker and a cannon over here. It's going to be enough to get the Hellions to run away. And there's the recall to get the units home, but they're not in this base. And the Blue Flame Hellions, oh my god. Oh my god. 7 quick kills there. But not only that, right? It pulls the pressure completely off of Gumiho. The Warp Prism trying to get in. Psh, can't get past these turrets. Can't get past these turrets. And just when you think, oh, I'll just sneak right through here. Boom! Turret. Can't get past him. Look at that man. Look at him in there. Oh, he's spinning. He's spinning. He's spinning. Who is that? Look in the mirror, guys. It's you. You're the man in the missile turret. Damn. Gets you every time. Gumiho going for a fusion core now. I love Gumiho so much. So much. You know, if this was another Terran, I might assume this was like a Liberator range play or something. But it's Gumiho. It's battlecruisers. He's got double battlecruiser production right now. Yamato on the way. He's my hero. It's ironic because he's up against the player Hero, but like, he is my hero. Speaking of Hero, though, he's going for another attack. Supplies are very even. Hero, though, at 65 probes. This feels bad. He's going to go just for a massive army and try to overwhelm Gumiho, who's at 83 SCVs. Gumiho going for the full defensive setup here. The Widow Mine gets a nice start to the engagement there with a hit. But Hero does not care. He's going in anyways. He's starting to blink on top of the top side up here, warping in a bunch of Zealots. Oh my god. And Hero just levels this army. I feel like that was just an awkward engagement from Gumiho. Hero just jumped in right on top of him. And unfortunately, we will not get to those battlecruisers. Hero does not want to let that happen. He said all or nothing. I'm going right now. And Gumiho crumples under the pressure. The defensive mech play not working out there. GG's. Hero takes the 2-0. And despite my love for Gumiho, he is out of today's bracket. We will have a PvP finals. I mean, that's the killer instinct we were talking about at the start of that game. Hero just going for the kill. Like 65 probes, 4 bases. He was down economically. Really, there's like 100 different things he probably like should have done. But he just instead warped in a bunch more units, had a bigger army, and then just went. He just went for it. And Gumiho wasn't super prepared. A lot of his army was still in production. Those BCs were like 12 of that army supply, a pretty significant chunk, because they were both at like 83 army supply or something like that, or maybe close to 100. But like probably a fifth of that was in production for Gumiho. Wasn't there to fight, wasn't there to defend. Hero taking advantage of the weakness. Can't have any weakness around Hero. He'll take you out. Oh my god, dude. Nightmare getting into a finals off the back of beating Solar and Classic. Dude, that's so sick. I told you guys, Nightmare taking down Classic is like, I feel like that match could be 50-50. Maybe slight advantage to Classic, but I don't know, dude. Nightmare's PvP is good. Who's the best PvP in Korea? That's hard. It's hard to say because they're all so aggressive that it's just like, whose aggressive build order wins. And if they both go 3-gate robo, who like catches the other one unawares? What's funny is Nightmare just lost a PvP to Christianer. We were just casting that match yesterday. It was a 3-0. Christianer just kind of dumpstered Nightmare. But those were all macro games, and Korean Protoss are not used to macro games. The 2-0 we just watched took the same amount of time as the 2-1 between Nightmare and Classic. That's how short those games were. Just quick little ones. I'm actually not sure whose PvP is the best in Korea. I would consult a League-Lag on that just to see, because it's hard. Like maybe Hero technically has it. It does play to Hero's play style, I feel like, which is aggressive, very aggressive. He beat Max Packs on Monday. Oh yeah, Christianer. Yeah, Christianer beat Max Packs on Monday. Dude, his PvP, sick. Yeah, Christianer beat Max Packs on Monday, and I don't know when the Christianer Nightmare match was played. We were casting from replays, but it's got to be like within a couple weeks. I don't think it'd be more than a couple weeks. So in the last couple weeks, he 3-0'd Nightmare, who I feel like is a PvP sniper in Korea. The most specialized, according to a League-Lag, the most specialized PvP player is Jieshi. Not the answer I was expecting. Hero's PvP is his best matchup. So I guess it could be Hero. Also Classic's best matchup. Just kind of looking through. Yeah, I don't know. Is this live? This is live. It's true. And there is a match arena. Here's a match arena. If you guys want to support this tournament, there's a couple ways to do so. The match arena, you can add money to the prize pool just by clicking the claim code button. It's only 25 cents, but if you're looking for an easy way to help support, that's a great way to do it. Also, consider checking out the Patreon. I'll mention that again once we get into game, so that it's available for the YouTube bud. Haha. I'm also streaming on YouTube right now because that's fun. So hi to the YouTube chat. I tend to neglect the YouTube chat, so I apologize. This is so weird. Battle.net's being really weird to me right now. Hmm. 45 out of 50 available. Yeah, there's a lot of codes left in that match arena. Consider checking it out. But you only want to support Hero. Well, what you can do then, because there's a match arena available for every single tournament, and I don't close it out right away, you could wait until Hero wins, which, to be fair, he mostly does. And then only add money to the match arena when Hero wins. So that every week Hero wins, you can add money and he'll get whatever percentage first place gets. I don't remember what the percentage is. It's in my brain somewhere. 40%. So 40% of whatever you put in the match arena, the winner gets. So you just wait till Hero wins, and then you can only put money into the match arena when he wins, and he'll get 40% of it. That might be your best way. Speaking of Hero, who is this that I'm looking at on my screen? It was actually Nightmare, but I changed it. Don't worry. We have ourselves a grand finals. And who else are we expecting to see in a grand finals of a KSL than this Protoss? Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Hard Lead, it is Dragon Kites's Hero. And he can be my hero, baby. His opponent, though, a bit less likely. I would say unexpected to see him in the finals. I don't think any of us would have predicted him to get to the finals. Honestly, even making it to the semifinals would not have likely been a prediction any of us would have made. A very impressive run by him today. It is Nightmare in the upper left-hand corner for Matcherino Esports. Nightmare took down Solar and Classic to get here today. Very sick run out of Nightmare. Getting some big upsets. And you know what? I mean, I was just saying he's good in PvP. Took down Classic. He's taken down Hero before. I think Nightmare's got a very real chance of winning this, which would be super sick. It would be actually a very good result for Nightmare. But while we're in the early stages of this PvP, before it gets exciting, which might happen soon, already Nightmare ahead of Probe. Oh my god, dude, it's over. Nightmare's got the win. That's it. What else is there? Hero should just forfeit. Oh man. Well, if you guys would like to support more StarCraft like this, consider checking out the Patreon, where for as low as $5 a month, you can get all of these replays. But more importantly than that, you will be part of the grassroots supporting of StarCraft esports. So it's keeping us alive, keeping us not being a dead game, keeping these players in. So consider supporting the KSL so we can keep these going as long as possible. And if you're like turning your pockets inside out, you're like, streamer, I have no money, I'm broke, I'm a broke gamer. First of all, I get it, I understand. Consider clicking that Matcherino link. Check out the Matcherino. We do one for every tournament. You can add 25 cents to the prize pool. Just little stuff like that. Every little bit helps. If you added 25 cents to every single Matcherino for every StarCraft tournament, you'd have added like a few $100s by now, probably. Because there's a lot of tournaments on Matcherino. And they're using a lot of that money that's coming from, you know, fees and stuff from the StarCraft tournaments going through to sponsor their team, which is so cool. I love that. Super stoked that Matcherino is supporting StarCraft like that. Happy to support them and continue using them. But all right. Hero went for a low ground so he could get the fast expand. His expansion done sooner than Nightmare's, but ultimately this is a very even game. Nightmare trying to sneak in with the adepts, but Hero continually blocking. However, Nightmare is going Phoenixes, and this is an Oracle opener from Hero, so Phoenix versus Phoenix is not going to be possible. The Stalkers are going to find these Phoenixes in the middle of the map, but oh, Hero's going to go for a Phoenix? I don't know about that. I don't know, Kev. Going for Phoenixes when you're down like 3. That is pretty huge. I don't know if I like that from Hero. Whoa, Hero's gonna go for the lifts. Doesn't get those stalkers, but I guess he doesn't actually damage any of them because shields. Oh, yeah, hold on. He did four hit point damage to that one. The Oracle dives into the main base. Only gets a single kill though. Gets cleaned up. Nightmare takes that harassment. He shoves it back into Hero's face. Hero's actually full walled in by accident. He stopped those adepts from getting through, but accidentally the full wall. Now Nightmare's going to come across. This Phoenix trying to live with the shield battery, but it does not. That was just the one Phoenix that Hero made. And he's trying to get into Blink now. But funnily enough, Nightmare is not committing to the Phoenixes either. He starts up Blink at the exact same time as Hero. And I feel like this is a great start for Nightmare. He is down a few probes right now, but I think that's because he's just hasn't taken his gas, so he doesn't have those 3 probes that he would be using to saturate that gas. But Hero does not have any map control at all. He's still locked into his base. He didn't kill the shield battery. We've got harassment potential here for Nightmare, although it looks like one Phoenix might go down. Careful, Phoenix. But I'm kind of surprised Nightmare isn't going for a 3rd base. I feel like this is a situation where he could take another base and be just fine. Other than that, this is a very feels like an even game. But Nightmare's ahead a good bit of army supply. Oh, there's that 3rd base. All right. These guys are really... It's like beat for beat. The Robo just finished at the exact same time. They're both building an observer. Blink's about to finish for both players within a few seconds of each other. The Nexuses are super similar. It's kind of funny how even this game is in a lot of ways. And that army supply lead for Nightmare, it's It's pretty much completely these Phoenixes. It's like these Phoenixes and a Stalker or something. Oh, it's the 2 Adepts. The Phoenixes and the 2 Adepts, I say, as the 2 Adepts are very close to death. Ooh, Nightmare's trying to come over with his Stalkers. Could lift up some of these Stalkers to get the kills. Hero has a bunch of Stalkers out here on the map. This could be really dicey for Hero, actually, or really dicey for Nightmare. It's kind of hard to know who this is better for. But Hero with his Stalkers split. Oh, Nightmare's going to focus on the Nexus. Never mind, he changes his targets. He's going to lift up some of these Stalkers and try to use that to gain an advantage. But Hero's going to take a much better fight here. Oh, the recall goes down, but 2 Stalkers dying on the way out. The Adepts shade through, but don't get any damage done. And just like that, this game that felt so even across the board, Hero just takes a big lead. Just one good fight, one good set of trades. And he's now a bunch of Stalkers ahead. Third base stays alive. Honestly, if Nightmare had just fully committed to sniping this Nexus, maybe this game gets weird. But as it is, Nightmare's just flat out behind. And that probe lead that Hero had earlier, he has continued to hold on to. And he is still ahead workers as this third base gets saturated for both players. As the game gets longer, the supply lead, the army supply lead might not matter quite as much, you know. 10 supply is pretty significant when it's like 20 to 30, but it's a little less significant when it's 110 to 120. Other things become a little more important at that stage. Nightmare is ahead on the upgrades right now, but he's not starting +2 just yet, so it's allowing Hero to catch up a little bit. And it's actually going to be very close. God, they're both starting 4th bases at like the identical times too. It's so funny. I'm surprised Hero is chilling so hard here. Again, he's waited for so long that now the army supply lead again. I mean, it's just 10, 11 army supply lead here for Hero. They're going to kind of circumvent each other. I don't know if Nightmare realized he's doing this. He's going to pull back. Okay, so now he sees this is coming. He's going to pull back. But this is going to be an awkward fight now. Hero knew this fight was about to start, and I don't think Nightmare knew this was coming. And Nightmare is up against Archons and Immortals in this army. He's just on Zealot Stalker, trying to get some more Stalkers over, but the Zealots are all gone. And I think Hero's just going to push through this. The Super Shield Battery is over here with 4 Stalkers, and Hero is crushing through the rest of this army. That should be GG in game number 1, as Hero's going to take a solid game here. Yeah, there's just no way. Nightmare is down to 22 army supply. He warps in some Zealots to try to get on top of this. But I don't know, man. Archons are pretty good. There's the GG. Hero takes it. A very even game for such a long time, but that weird situation. Hero realized that Nightmare was pushing through the middle with the Stalkers and just waited to jump on top of him and trap him there. He fully trapped him there. It was really nicely done. Nightmare wasted a full volley of the Stalkers on the Nexus. I thought he was targeting it down, but I think the Stalkers were just like already doing that, and they needed to swap earlier to fighting against the other Stalkers. Didn't quite happen. From there, it's a pretty straightforward win for Hero. It's the killer instinct, man. We talked about it earlier. It's the killer instinct. Also, fun game. I don't know if you guys ever played Killer Instinct. I love me some, like, slightly less well-known fighting games. It's good times. If I ever get the PlayStation situation working, for those of you guys who don't know, I recently got all my PS2 games from when I was a kid. I have a bunch of PS1 games too, and a couple of those are these like niche, pretty unknown or not super well-known fighting games, I would love to stream those. Some old school PS1 games. I heard that the PS3 can play PS1 games and PS2 games, so I might try to pick up a PS3. This is a system I never had. Anyways, PS3. I don't know where I was going with that. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Golden Aura. My transition failed. We have Majorino Esports' Nightmare. The underdog, now down 0-1 in this best of 5. His opponent in the lower right-hand corner. Off to a good start here. It is Dragon Kites's Hero. Interestingly, both players going for the low ground gateway here.
One of the mentors for my business is creating a fighting game based on Regina, Saskatchewan. Please consider it. It's called Queen City Chaos.
Based on Regina, Saskatchewan. That's incredible. I love that, Bruno. Thank you for sharing. Queen City Chaos. And thank you for the 300 bits. Look at that, guys. We've learned something. Fighting games are fun. Fighting games are like the other esport I really enjoy watching. I don't watch a ton of them, but one of the first esports I ever watched, really the first esport I ever watched, was Super Smash Melee. I've always had a soft spot for fighting games. Of course, I think we've all seen the good old Evo moment with Daigo. If you guys haven't watched that, I think it's number 37 is what it's called. Evo moment 37 or something is the video title. The Daigo parry. Oh, it's the ultimate, the absolute ultimate esports moment. It's honestly, it's the best esports moment of all time. I stand by it. Yeah, go ahead and link, Bruno. Links are allowed in the chat. Just please not to any, just no porn, please. Thank you. Unless it's like, well, no, just no, no, nope. I love the people in chat talking crap about Regina. That's fantastic. A place that if you told me it was fake, I'd believe you. This is a fun little interaction here. The Zealot and Adept walking across the map for Nightmare. But Hero has his own Zealot and his own Adept. Uh-oh. But the Adept gets in. It's going to get one probe kill. Can it get a second? Whoa. Oh, what movement to get that probe in the gas to keep it alive. Nightmare will get out of here with the Adept, though. Oh, and Nightmare's Oracle going to get the kill on Hero's Adept that came to the other side of the map and was hitting the shield battery. This is a funny game. This is a funny game. Nightmare full walled himself. I was going to say into his base, but also out of his base with these units. I guess he can kill the shield battery pretty easily. Or maybe there's a gap here? There actually might be. Walls are kind of tough to tell. I don't think that's a gap, but I've been wrong before. Usually when I say, oh, I don't think that's a gap, that's when the Zerglings just like right in, and I'm like, oh, uh-huh. I hate this game. That's usually about how that goes. Wait a second. That's a second Stargate. Nightmare did not go for Phoenixes. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Nightmare blocking himself out. Hero comes in here with his Phoenixes. He's dropping a second Stargate to win the Phoenix War against a player who has Blink. Like a third of the way done. This is very weird. Hero, okay, he cancels. He cancels. He finally realizes what he's up against. I mean, he scouted everything in the main base with his Phoenixes. I don't know, maybe Nightmare started up a Phoenix Or maybe because of the way last game went, Hero assumed Nightmare was going Phoenixes again. But Nightmare went for the Oracle, and just that. So far, this has been, I guess, slightly better of an opener for a Hero. But theoretically, Phoenix is kind of the worst tech to have. And Nightmare's going to have Blink a lot sooner than Hero. Remember last game, Nightmare opened with the Phoenixes, but he got into Blink right at the same time. So he was able to fight the army straight up. Nightmare's just going to walk across the map. What a ballsy move. I mean, you got to love it. He's got a gateway going down, proxied. He's just lost some probes. But it's like he doesn't care. He's like, yeah, whatever. Still going to just go try to kill you. And Hero, he's getting Twilight Council up, but he's going for a Dark Shrine. There's no detection from Nightmare right now. He's just trying to chrono out an Immortal and hold on as long as he can. Ooh, Nightmare blinks backwards. I kind of like that he was going for this pylon, but he's pulling back. He's being more passive, and this is just better for Hero because the longer this goes on, the better it is for Hero. Here's got another gateway finishing up. That first Immortal has popped. Stargate can go down. That is the least important building in Hero's wall right now. And Nightmare's just trying to poke and prod here. That Dark Shrine, though, is so big. Nightmare has no detection. He can get on an Oracle, but how long will it actually stay alive? Hero trying to bust out here now. He's going to pick up a couple of these Stalkers. The Super Shield Battery turns on. The Immortal will... Oh, my God, it stays alive. You got to be kidding me. I can't believe that Immortal actually stayed up. It's finally going to fall, but it did its job. The Phoenix is lifting just enough Stalkers where they couldn't finish that Immortal off. And, I mean, Hero should have this now. Probes did have to come out to fight. I think if Hero just warps into DT and walks it across the map, like, Nightmare's going to lose everything. And there they go. 2 DTs getting sent out. There's no proxy here for Hero. It's going to take a while for that to pay off. He does have a second Immortal popping out. Nightmare's trying to take a third base back at home, but he still has no detection. Absolutely none. I don't think he's thinking about this at all. And those DTs, they're getting close. They're starting to walk into the base. From the shadows I come. Here they go. Hero already getting 3-4 kills. The main base getting hit. And Nightmare is suddenly just in a terrible spot, losing a bunch of probes. Yeah, he's got a third base finishing up, but he's going to be down. I mean, like, every probe is just going to start dying here. These probes have nothing to do. Nightmare decides to jump back in, but Zealots, Immortals, Phoenixes, and Stalkers should be enough here for Hero to hold on while he kills 15 probes on the opposite side of the map. The tag gets both of the DTs. One of them's going to leave. The other one will stay. Looks like the Stalkers might be able to get the kill on both. Oh my God, DTs are so fast. Revelation lasts a long time, though. That is 2 dead DTs. But Nightmare's on one base. All of his probes are on one base right now. It's a real problem for Nightmare. Hero has his own blink nearly done. He's going to drop a few more gates. His third base is on the way. Hero's in a fantastic spot this game. His army is bigger. It's going to be better very soon when he is blink. Already, honestly, it might just be better with Immortals. Immortals just pretty good. And Nightmare just doesn't have a lot to work with right now. He's trying to get Charge. I think Charge could be very good here for Nightmare. If he's able to buy enough time to get charged out, he doesn't have to take the gases, which means he doesn't need a ton more probes to fully saturate. Just got to get the 12 more in the main here. Maybe if Nightmare can go for a big swarm of Zealots, but I see a bunch of gates going down for Hero, and he's got Charge on the way too. He's just going to do the same thing. Wait, he cancels Charge? What? Why did he cancel Charge? I mean, he's going to walk across the map, but I feel like you can keep Charge. Feels like a weird choice there for Hero. But, I mean, Hero's coming in He's up quite a bit of army supply. Nightmare did not pick off any units on the way across the map, which is like crucial when you have Blink Stalkers. Charge is not done yet. This is a perfect timing for Hero. And I think Nightmare, he's going to do his best. Overcharged shield battery can buy some time. The force fields, though, trapping those non-charged zealots into a fight they did not really want to be in just yet. Charge is finally done. But all of the zealots are dead. There's 3 left for Nightmare. He's losing his production. And I think that's just got to be about it. He's trying to chrono boost more zealots out. He's going to get the prism, but at what cost? What did it cost you, Nightmare? Everything. Probe's getting pulled, but it is too little too late. And Hero is going to go up 2-0 in this best of 5. Nightmare has had some big upsets today. He did take down Classic in the semifinals, which I don't think is that big of an upset. PvP is, you know, it can be kind of wonky. Nightmare does beat Hero, or beat Classic rather, decently often. But taking down Solar 2-0 is a massive upset for Nightmare. That is not what I expected to see in this bracket today. It would be a shame to see him get all the way to the finals only to get 3-0'd by the #1 KSL player, Hero. I'm actually going to check how many KSLs Hero has won. Just take a quick look. Let's just... All right, we've had 33 so far. All right, this is the 34th. Heroes won 13. 13 of them. And he's gotten second place 4 times, which is an insane win rate in the finals for Hero. Oh my God. 13-4? That's crazy. That's so good. And he's in 1 more finals now. I don't know, man. He is the KSL champ. But it ain't over yet. It ain't over till it's over. And the fat lady ain't singing. His opponent? Whose opponent? I don't know. I'm just saying words now. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner of Hecate, we have Maturino's Nightmare. Looking for that upset, but down 0-2. His opponent. There we go. I said it in the right spot this time. In the upper right-hand corner for Dragon Kites Gaming, it is Hero. Can you guys tell I didn't sleep much last night and I'm on my 2nd energy drink of the day? Because I feel like you can tell. It's really interesting to me how like macro-focused these games have been. I feel like Korean PvP, I'm usually expecting the vast majority of games to have 1 3-gate robo in them. Like 60-70% of the PvPs to just have a 3-gate robo. I don't think we've seen a single one today. Maybe it was in Nightmare versus Classic. I didn't get to cast that one. Good night, Senju. Thank you for hanging out. Always good to see people in the chat. Thank you for being here. Enjoying some StarCraft with us. But if you're not here live, you can also watch these games on my YouTube channel. I always post the best games that I cast every week. I try to get 1 a day, 1 post a day, if I have enough good matches to cover it. Sometimes more than 1 post a day on YouTube. So if you're looking for a place to watch good StarCraft, please consider subscribing. I'm trying to boost those subscriber numbers. Recently had a short featuring my sweet old kitty over there. Officer Everything Bagels. So also if you're looking for more cat content. Apparently that's going to be happening. Anytime I have good cat content. Goes right in there. Well, both players going to expand.
He is a man,
more macro,
but he's also a chicken.
Out of these Protoss players. Bruno gifting a sub, paying forward the gift sub that Skatu gave them to Thorn. Thorn, welcome to the flock, my friend. Thorn, I saw you on the list of Liquipedia contributors. High up on that list. Gotta say, I appreciate you. Appreciate the Liquipedia contributors. Sup, Horiforion in the chat earlier as well. Nightmare's putting some pressure on here, trying to be annoying, trying to take down this pylon. But there is a shield battery up, a second shield battery up. But Hero's going to scout that there's a Nexus. So I feel like he can cancel that second shield battery. Whoa, the Adept's going to sneak through. There's no units here. All right, the Stalkers show up. Few probes going down, but what? Wait a second. How? Wait a second. Oh, Hero's gonna find it. You gotta be kidding me. Right as it finishes, Hero finds it. That's so funny. He must have had in his brain, he was like, I think there was a probe in my base. I think there was. Counts are coming up for Nightmare. Now a Void Ray on the way out for Hero. It's the second Void Ray. Why is Hero making Void Rays? He scouted the Nexus. Does he think it's a fake Nexus? I am confused. I'm genuinely confused what Hero's doing right now. Nightmare drops a Dark Shrine and is immediately scouted by the Oracle that's about to kill so many probes. 4 probes going down. Oh my god, 5, 6. Stalkers push this away, but the Dark Shrine is revelated upon. It's canceled in vision of Hero. You might need more cat content for money. I mean, that's fair, Possum Wizard. That's fair. You know where to find the good cat content. You're in the correct channels already.
Oh man, Chickenman. Wow.
Drolarius, thank you for the 7 months. The resubscription. Look at this support. And again, if you want to support without paying any money, it is free to follow the Twitch channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's free to add 25 cents to the prize pool in the match arena. And it's free to watch. Free to watch, which is cool. And I appreciate you watching. However you do your watching, I appreciate it. Okay, Hero's gonna break down his wall. He has 2 Void Rays. He's getting out a second Immortal. I'm just confused. He has a Twilight Council. No upgrades coming out of it. No other tech from it right now. Okay, there's Charge. Charge and +1. Hero's, I feel like he's winging it. You know, Hero's like throwing a hodgepodge of things together just to see how it goes. I don't know what he was expecting Nightmare to do, but I mean, I guess to his credit, Nightmare is about to go, what is this? 5-gate Blink Stalkers? Nightmare's posturing like he wants to take a base, but I feel like you don't put down 5 gateways on 2 bases to take a 3rd. Maybe I'm wrong? I guess I'm wrong. All right. You know, I don't know, dude. I'm confused. This game is confusing me. I was so ready for Nightmare to go attack. He's like dropping 2 more gates, ready to go. He's got the robo. He can get a prism out, go attack. Nope. Just takes 3rd. Okay. You say so. You start up Charge. I mean, Hero's Charge is about to finish. Hero's pushing across. He has the prism. And Hero's got a much bigger army and a much stronger army. Look at these Immortals. Oh, Nightmare really wanted that prism snipe, but he just barely doesn't get it. And that's going to allow these Zealots to warp in. And Nightmare now has to try to hold with his Stalkers up on the high ground. He does have a shield battery here, a second one on the way. He's warping in some sentries just to try to use his gas, but the sentries all go down immediately. Oh, and Hero's just going to bully his way through this army. Blink Stalkers are great at a lot of things, but defending like this is just not their strong suit. Hero had the more powerful army, and he's just going to bully in. And that's it. I wish It was not the case. But it looks like Hero is going to take the 3-0 victory, winning himself a 14th KSL, improving his record to 14-4 in KSL Grand Finals. The Oracle getting in and killing a bunch of probes as well. I mean, this has never been more over. And moreover, it's over. It might be Joker. Oof. Oof. Nightmare with some big upsets today. Played fantastically against Solar and Classic. But it's not enough. It's not enough to take down the hero. The hero of the day. It's Hero. GG's, man. You can't do it. You can't topple the KSL Master. He's too strong up there. Too strong, too good. Well, that does it. That's the end of the KSL today. Kind of a quick one. Yeah, what was that? Like 2.5 hours. Quick KSL. I guess we had some PvPs in there that went pretty quick. Is that the first PvP finals? That's funny. I hadn't realized that. No, it's not. It's not the first PvP finals. Dave just said that, but he's lying. He's lying to us. Classic versus Hero was the KSL finals for number 12. Big shout out to Nightmare. This is his second finals he's made it to, but I think the most impressive performance from him yet. Taking down Solar and Classic. Really sick stuff. And we'll wrap it up. I'll be sending out replays if any of you guys are Patreon supporters in the next couple of hours once I gather them up from the other casters. Ooh. I could, you know what? This is a short one. It's pretty early. We just got a raid from Jerry Curl. And I timed this perfectly where Fear Dragon's copy pasta has no control over me. I think we should cast Oliveira versus Gumiho. You guys down? I think you're down. We're going to cover Oliveira Gumiho. Honestly, if for no other reason than Fear Dragon dropped the streams ending copy pasta, which I love so much, and I do to streamers all the time because it's funny. And not that copy pasta, but I always hit them with the like, oh, I'm so excited to be here. Right at the end. Great. But now, we get to stay live. That's illegal. See, your bot is predicated on me being a good streamer, Fear Dragon, and remembering that I had these replays to cast before I said I was going to finish. But I didn't. So, somebody did cover Oliveira versus Gumiho, but not in English. So we have the results. So if you don't want to know who won, don't look at the bracket. But we're going to cover Oliveira Gumiho. I got to figure out the order of the replays so we do them in the right order. Obviously, if you were watching the tournament earlier, you know who won. But it'll be a fun match regardless. Look at that cozy cat. Isn't he so cozy? I adjusted the camera angle a little bit, put it a little bit further up, and I think it's a better angle. You can really see how cute and adorable he is now. Harstum Dave testing a Fear Dragon troll cherry. The cherry right on top. Jared Cole, thank you for the raid, by the way. I don't know if I ever actually said that. All right, let's see what we got here. All right. Sorry, have to micro. There's a lot of screens to look at right now. I have to micro all the screens. Gonna leave this party so we can cast Oliveira Gumiho. So the tournament is done, so I would recommend not looking at the bracket if you're just getting here or we're just here for the finals and you don't want to know who won this series we're about to cast. This was from earlier in the day, but it's a sick match. Oliveira versus Gumiho is sick.
Oh, man, Chickenman.
So we're going to cover it. I'm sure the matches will be great. The games will be great. Almost as great as Jacked Back. Jacked Back, hitting 40 months. Damn. The big 4-0. That is a long time, Jacked Back. Welcome back to the flock. Welcome, Jacked Back, to the flock. I hope your back is feeling jacked. I like to imagine that, like, you're a pretty normal-looking person. Like, you don't have huge muscles, except on your back. You, like, take your shirt off, and your back is just cut. But everything else is, like, pretty normal, you know. It's a muscle, but, you know, you're just kind of chilling. But your back, dude, jacked. That's in my mind, anyways. All right, we're going to get into this match. It's good YouTube content, too. Always looking for more YouTube content. Got to make sure we have that StarCraft match every day. Also, I'm not going to be able to cast EPT Cup on Monday, so I need that extra content. Stupid work getting in the way. Who would want to work when you can just StarCraft? It's so much better than work. That should be the slogan. StarCraft 2. It's better than work. It's like the bare minimum, but it's got to be true. Anyways, we'll get into this match. Best of 3. Spawning in the upper right-hand corner of Hecate, we have Dragon Kitesy's Oliveira, the world champion, winner of this past year's Katowice. His opponent in the lower left-hand corner has had a fantastic year of StarCraft and might be in the best shape of his life. Recent GSL finalist, it is Gumiho, recently joining Cloud9. It's a big team join there. Gumiho's been teamless for a while. He was on Psystorm for a long time. Big shout out to Psystorm. But left the team, was looking for a new team for a good bit. Was finally picked up by C9. Cool to see them join us in StarCraft. Very happy about that. Well, this should be a really sick TVT. These guys have played in the KSL a few times. This is actually like, this might be the 3rd time I've cast Gumiho Oliveira from replays after the tournament ended. Because nobody cast it during the actual tournament. It's so weird how it like times out like that. These guys both won their matches so fast that we weren't able to get into the match. Missed it by literally 2 minutes, which is very unfortunate, but thankfully we were able to get the replays and see what happened in these games, what transpired, because I know it's a banger. I would recommend not looking at the bracket right now because it'll spoil who won this match. I could actually turn the bracket command off if that feels like a thing to do. But all right, what I should do is probably talk about this game a little bit. Oliveira going for a couple of Reapers and then getting into a Hellion, but it is a Cyclone start from Gumiho, going for Big Daddy Cyclone instead of that Hellion. Bit of a stronger opening, but a little more expensive. The Hellion gonna shuffle these boys away. I mean, if I hopped up a cliff with a jetpack and then fire was just raining down from above on me, I'd probably leave too. I'd probably be like, yeah, you know, I think I'm gonna leave. Bruno in chat using one of my favorite emotes of all time, the Seaman Long. I think I have the ability on YouTube now to, like, add... I might be able to add emotes. I'm not sure. There's a few things I can do on YouTube now that I've hit the 500 sub threshold. I can't quite, like, monetize ads yet, which is a bit unfortunate. Not that it would make me a lot of money, but, you know, it's nice to make some money. But I think I can do, like, channel badges. And if I can do emotes at all, I feel like the Seaman Long's got to get on there, too. Shout out to Crass Culture for that set of emotes. Oliveira flying across with the medevac, going to try to do a cheeky drop. It's kind of a weird set of units here. The tank a little too far away to defend this. Megumi going to have to defend this with the Marines. The tank will unsiege and immediately come on over to help. The Cyclone locks onto the medevac, but it boosts away. Ooh, Gumio is chasing. He's going for the chase. He's not going to get it. Oh, Oliveira's going to drop out. Yeah, Gumio's got to run away now. Or does he? Hold up. Whoop. Gumio's coming out here, man. He loses the Cyclone, though, and that is going to mean Oliveira can pick up. The Viking is out. The boost is about to run out. The Marine's going to do their best here to fight this out. Wow, it's rare to see tanks get bopped by the Reaper grenades, but there it goes. Oh my god. I see somebody joining the KSL, supporting, looking for replays, saw those Protosses in there and said, I need to know how the Protoss is Protoss today. Thanks, Hup. I love you, buddy. Big shout out to the people who support the KSL. It is fully Patreon funded. What is this drop, Gumiho? It's just 2 siege tanks. And he's... Oh! He got blopped! He got blopped! Oh my god. Oliveira with the stop. I mean... I don't know what you expected to happen there, man. He dropped 2 siege tanks, sieged them up, did basically nothing, and then lost everything. That was beautiful. Great hold from Oliveira, but, I mean, there's like 800 different ways to handle that. Oliveira picked the funnest one, though. Waiting for the tanks to unsiege. Interference matrix right on top of there. So interesting, we do have Oliveira going for the Ravens. No Ravens out of Gumiho. This is not super weird for Gumiho. Not a lot of Terrans play this style, but Gumiho likes to go Ravenless a lot of times. And I mean, I feel like his TVT win rate kind of speaks for itself, that it works for him. But almost every other Terran goes for Ravens like every single game. That Interference Matrix is such a strong spell. We saw it get used there, but against the siege tanks, it's particularly strong. This push out from Gumiho, though, is just going to catch Oliveira a little bit out of position. And he's going to be able to kill a couple of SCVs here, delay this base from being taken by a little bit. And Gumiho's going to take his own base back at home. I mean, this is minimal investment. I thought Gumiho was going to go home, actually, but he decides to stick around. He does have air dominance, which means he can keep an eye on his opponent a little bit easier than his opponent can keep an eye on him. There's a nice little tank shot. 2 tank shots going off here. Oliveira taking some damage for no reason. And while he did take some good trades earlier on, Gumiho is overall taking the better trades this game. Oh my god. And his orbital command might be in some trouble. The Vikings trying to fight the Vikings. Some of them shooting at the orbital. Gumiho's going to absolutely win this fight. Where are the Ravens? Oh, they're running away. They're out of here. These Ravens, they saw all those Vikings and they were like, you know what? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I don't need to help defend. Oh, but maybe they did. Oh, these tanks getting some big shots off. Killing a lot of bio. Oliveira does clean them up. And he's going to try to get some damage done over here. There's nothing to defend this. So the auto turrets could be massive. But Gumio's continuing to push. He is going to kill all of those Marines. Auto turrets going down, though. How many SCVs will go down? Gumio only losing a couple so far. Vikings pop out, they'll kill these Ravens, and at the same time, Gumio continuing to push on the other side. He still has the air army lead. So many Vikings are out. This is pure mech, by the way, for Gumio. He is on tank Viking, which is why he's able to just keep reinforcing with more and more tanks, more and more Vikings. The bio coming out of Oliveira just keeps dying for nothing. Oh no, the SCVs, they stopped repairing. Oh, Oliveira. He had all the time in the world to get that repair going again, but he just didn't see it. And now Oliveira is going to break that. Stim is done. The SCV's helping. Oh no, what happened? Did we? Oh no, dude, was there? This is so sad. We don't get to see the end of this game. Oh man. What is going on? Hold, please. I think the person who sent me this replay left the game early. Or dropped. And that is very sad. Check to make sure. What? Yeah. Aw, dude. Dude. Oh, man. Well, that sucks. I want to know how that game ended. I was so invested. It was like a 5 supply difference at the end of that game. Gumio just killed the 3rd CC but lost his attacking army. What? Dude. Yes, please be polite. I mean, the person I asked to send me the replays sent me the replays. It's possible that, like, their internet dropped at that point in the game. I don't know how good their English is either, so. Oh, man. Well, that sucks. I guess it's worth casting the rest of this series, because the matches are going to be really good. See, here's a fun thing. We don't know who won that game. Genuinely don't know who won that game. So we're going to have to get into game 2 without knowing who won game 1. I'm going to message Gumiho and see if he can send me his replays. He will not have left the game early. And in the meantime, we'll cast game 2. Maybe it was Fear Dragon. How dare he? after casting StarCraft all day for the ESL Masters, just hopped on and is leaving games early. What if this game is left early too? Be so sad. Let's hope not. So we don't know who won game 1, but we're getting into game 2. This is it's weird content here. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Hard Lead, we have the current reigning world champion, Oliveira, dragging Kitesy Gaming. And his opponent in the upper left-hand corner, it is the new Cloud9 StarCraft player, Gumiho. The first, currently only, Cloud9 StarCraft 2 player. Maybe that's what we should do. Should we get 2 people in chat, 2 Terrans in chat, to recover that replay and finish the game for us? That might be the way to go. It's true. We're casting this from replays, so I don't know who won game 1. But based on who wins this game, we'll know who won game 1. But I've also asked Gumiho to send me his replays. We'll see if he does. It's possible he just doesn't. He might not even see the message. Entirely possible. If he does, we'll cast the rest of that match. I'll just fast forward to that spot to figure out what happened. I'm going to post this on YouTube regardless, because you know what? Weird content is good content. If we have to deal with this live, then the YouTube audience has to deal with it too. All right? And it'll be worth it, because games 2 and 3 will hopefully be complete games. Actually, like, part of me now hopes that the person who covered these matches, that covered this match, left all 3 games early while it was, like, pretty dead even. Oh, man, that game 1, like, Gumiho was ahead in game 1. But he had just lost his position on the map. Oliveira had just cleaned up the army. The supplies were very even. I feel like Gumiho probably goes on to win that. However, Gumiho was playing mech. He was on tank Viking. And that can be, that composition can have a lot of vulnerabilities. It's the kind of position where Oliveira might be able to fight back from it. Bio is really good at scrappy games. And Oliveira is really good at scrappy games also. Like, making it happen when it feels like you shouldn't be able to. This game, Gumiho opening with a quick 3rd CC. Oliveira going for the more normal starport here. I feel so out of whack because that game didn't end. Gumiho's being real annoying here with the Reapers, but they will get taken down by the Cyclone. Cyclone's very good at dealing with those Reapers. Only 1 SCV died. Reapers didn't really get a scout on much either. Not that there's too much to see in here, but they didn't see either the factory or the starport. It's always a bit unfortunate to not get those scouts. Getting a couple of Hellions out to follow this up. The Hellions are an interesting choice. Yeah, Oliveira just getting into Marine tank Raven production. Very normal stuff in this TVT out of Oliveira. He scouts the quick 3rd CC as well. So he's putting his down, but he knows Gumiho's is done. It is an orbital already. That's going to give him triple Mule, triple SCV production, and he's going to be able to take that 3rd pretty much whenever he wants. Oliveira doesn't have a lot of pushing power right now. He could go for a push with a 2nd tank. The Raven out as well. only one Raven, and he did not research interference matrix. So that's a new change that the Raven has to research interference matrix at the tech lab. Oliveira opting not to do that, so he can't get any shutdowns. Just auto turrets or anti-armor missiles for this Raven. Or flying forward and dying, which Ravens are really good at. Particularly if I'm controlling the Ravens. Very, very good at flying forward and dying for nothing. If I'm lucky, sometimes they'll drop an auto turret. Gumiho scans to see what Oliveira is going for. He sees the third CC. Gumiho has not taken his yet, deciding to just try to defend on the 2 bases for now. But that means he's not really getting full advantage from this third CC being done so early. It's been in orbital for the entire build length of this CC of Oliveira. Oliveira is pushing, though, so maybe not taking that third so quickly was a good call. Gumiho just going to play it defensively. Again, no interference matrix here, so no ability to shut down these tanks. Oliveira wins that first tank war. He's going to siege a little bit further forward. Gumiho's going to scan again. That should be a dead tank pretty quickly there. Auto turret's going down to finish it off. Oliveira does lose a tank, and this one's very low. He wants to keep on pushing, sieging up so close to this tank's range, but not quite there. And Oliveira's just being annoying for now. Gumiho, oh, where is he going? Where is Gumiho going? Medevac goes down. Tank sieging up. Scans everywhere. Oliveira has a lot of Vikings. He is really putting this pressure on, putting the screws to Gumiho. Gumiho has stim, though. And I feel like he might just be able to stim in on both sides and kill this soon. He's going to go for the stim. SCV's getting pulled, but they are getting absolutely minced here. The tanks doing their best on the back line of Oliveira. Gumiho will clean this up, but at great expense. And actually, hold on. Hold the phone. Did I speak too soon? No, I spoke perfectly. He cleans that up, but it was at great expense, taking very bad trades there, losing 23 SCVs in this game. And because he never took that third base, I mean, Oliveira's going to be the first one to take a third. Oliveira is very far ahead now. Like, the one thing Gumiho is going for him is he's got +1 attack. But Oliveira, this is so funny. Oliveira's doing like the exact same build that Gumiho did last game. He's just producing Vikings and tanks and was just rallying them across the map to keep that attack going. This is such a funny reversal of game 1. It makes me think Gumiho won game 1, and now Oliveira's like, huh, good strat. I'm going to try that. Let me give it a shot. And it just like worked perfectly. Gumiho is just so far behind now. He's 30 workers down. This is almost a double the worker situation here. Oliveira should just be able to build so much more. The one thing Gumiho is going for him is because he's going for Marines, he's keeping up in supply. He's going to try to jump on top of this, dropping his tanks out here. Can the Marines do it? The tanks focusing down that tank. Yeah, Gumiho just taps out. He does not have it. And that tells us who won game number 1. And it was, in fact, Gumiho who took the W there. That's so funny. So Gumiho did win game 1, probably not too long after that drop from the replay. But Oliveira doing pretty much the same build to him in game 2 to tie the series up. Oh, I'm so sad we don't get the end of game 1. I'm really hoping Gumiho will send me those replays at some point. I'll feel so bad if I have to send out a partial game replay in the replay pack. Don't check that bracket. Don't look at that bracket. Don't do it. Bob the Builder, don't do it. Because once you see the results, you'll know who's going to win this game. Because right now, it's a tied up series. as we hop into game number 3. It's 1-1. Spawning in the upper right-hand corner of Alcyone, we have the red Terran player, the current reigning world champion. His Dragon Kitesies Oliveira. His opponent, though, lower left-hand corner, fresh and hot off of a second place in the most recent GSL. It is Cloud9's Gumiho. He's got to get on that Cloud9 clan. They probably don't even have a StarCraft clan, which is really funny to think about. I wonder if they have anybody that does, like, StarCraft gameplay. I'm sure they have people on the team that, like, play StarCraft. It's just, I don't know. It's funny. But all right, game number 3. Games 1 and 2 were the player who went for just tanks and Vikings won. I feel like those games just proved that you actually don't need Marines in TVT, which I don't like. I'm not happy about that because I've always said that Marines are the most important part of TVT. Just tanks and Vikings. Listen, Gumiho in game 1, all right, he was crushing them with tanks and Vikings. He just kept rallying across the map. The game ended before the game ended. But Gumiho won that game. It would be awful if that game went on for like 25 minutes. I don't think it did, because the bracket would have been really held up by it, and it was not. But it'd be awful if we missed like an excellent, sick TVT after the start of that game. It's just so funny that Oliveira immediately was like, yeah, that's a good build. I'm going to try that. And hit Gumiho with the same thing. The micro battles are fierce here. Oliveira won that first micro battle. Right now, Gumiho's trying to get him back. Decides not to engage. Both players this time putting down the starport. No quick third CC here. The quick third CC last game, I feel like, really ended up hurting Gumiho. Just delaying his air tech. It felt like he tried to get a sneaky advantage, but Oliveira really just took advantage of it. Took advantage of his weakness. You are weak. You are weak. As Oliveira in game 2. Both players doing the exact same build now? Oh, almost the exact same build. So this CC is much later. Wait, how does Gumiho have such an early CC compared to Oliveira? What did I miss at the start? This build feels so even in every other way. But Oliveira, oh man, and now he is losing SCVs. This Reaper has 2 SCV kills. A delay on the third base, or the second base, rather. And Oliveira just ends up behind in workers. His base was a lot later, but, like, I guess he has a couple... what did he have? Like 2 Reapers? I don't know. It feels like Oliveira doesn't have anything to show for the later CC. And I'm just a little confused. He is going to go for a drop. There's a medevac out for Gumiho, though, too, and I'm a little worried Gumiho's going to pick up and leave right as Oliveira gets here. But it looks like Oliveira is going to be able to get the drop off. He's just going to go right on in with the tank and the Marines. Gumiho pulls back immediately. It's going to be some lost mining time. Going to unsiege his tank and move forward. Marines getting splatted by the siege tank. But it looks like this will get cleaned up. The Viking making sure that medevac can't get out of there even. Only the Reapers escape. Oliveira forced to back up. So good cleanup from Gumiho, but took a little bit of damage. I think overall, well worth it. Reaper's continuing to be annoying, but no longer. No longer will the Reapers annoy Gumiho. They have been shut down. I like the Cyclone in the middle of the map here. Gonna keep an eye on things. Might be able to get the kill. Gets the kill. Easy peasy. Gumiho says, screw you. And all right, maybe that Cyclone in the middle of the map isn't so good. All right. It seemed so strong until all of a sudden it died. Weird how that happens. Gumiho very split up at the moment. He is going to send his tanks around the left side and his medevac full of Marines to the bottom here on the right. This is very weird. I was going to say I don't know how I feel about this, but I do know how I feel about this. And it's not great. But Gumiho's going to get away with it. Oliveira has not spotted this at all, which means these tanks are going to siege up and be in a really annoying position on this refinery as the drop is poised to head into the main base once the distraction is in place. Oliveira has a Raven with, again, no interference matrix here, which I feel like is maybe a mistake for Oliveira. Not like a mistake, but I don't know if it's a good call. Gumiho's going to get the drop off in the main, though. Killed a couple of SCVs, it looks like. He's killed 2 refineries. Oliveira didn't commit enough to this. Gumiho is winning the fight against the Marines, and he's going to kill more SCVs. The tanks are still here. Some Vikings helping them see. Finally, those Marines get cleaned up, but Oliveira is now down 11 workers, as Gumiho's third is already on location. Oliveira is flying his over right now, but it's not a good position for Oliveira. That drop did so much more than it had any right to. 9 SCVs have gone down this game. And overall, the trades have been, wow, so in favor of Gumiho. I mean, that is huge. 1,000 resources at this state of the game is massive, especially since Gumiho is ahead in workers, ahead in army supply. I mean, this is huge. And Gumiho is going into mech. This is real, true mech Terran. Games 1 and 2, the mech was like just double factory openers with the double siege tank production, but this is a bit more real deal out of Gumiho. Oliveira, hey, what was I just talking about? Double factory siege tank production. It's exactly what he's going for here. Drops that third factory, but Gumiho is already properly into mech. Double starport, triple factory. Gumiho's going for it. What is the air army right now? 10-8. Gumiho is ahead, but he doesn't have all his Vikings here. Oliveira's Vikings need to go check things out on this side, because they can win. Well, can they win this fight? Come on now. They do have the Raven to help out. Anti-armor missile could be huge. Gumiho not going to stick around to find out. Just getting the damage done, backing up, trying to chip off damage here and there, and he's added to his lead in terms of the resources lost. And that's just going to make it harder and harder for Oliveira to catch up. I thought this was a double expand. I got really excited. Gumiho's taking this base up here. I really thought this was a CC for a second. Just a floating racks, the good old I'm going mech floating racks. Gumiho just posturing out here. Some Liberators coming out of Oliveira. Those could get some splash damage on the Vikings. But man, it is 10-18. Just the one Liberator as well. Oliveira falling very far behind in the Viking Wars. I don't know if he realized how far behind he was. But it's getting worse and worse. It's double starport for Gumiho, remember. He's got a lot of Viking production, and he is just going to start pushing this back. The turrets went down to the tanks. The Vikings will land, but that means Gumiho just has free reign in this base. Nothing here shoots up. Oh, the Vikings going to lift up once again. I think Gumiho's just got too much in the air. And without anything to kill these Vikings, I mean, a dicey situation for Oliveira right now. He's down 40 supply, and it just feels like Gumiho has such a stranglehold on him. Meanwhile, Gumiho taking bases, just continuing to produce, totally fine back at home. No problem whatsoever, and he is just choking out Oliveira. He's got him in a chokehold. He's got him in the full Nelson. Oliveira going to try to break this. Oh, it's not going to happen. The Vikings land to make sure, but Gumiho, he takes the 2-1 victory. We didn't get to see the full game 1, and I apologize for that. But we're all on that same page. We got to see games 2 and 3. Gumiho giving us some mech TVT and taking that game, the match, the whole series off of Oliveira. GG. Weird stuff today, man. Thank you guys for hanging out. Spiffy B, you say that, but Gumiho's like, actually, I can do whatever I want. Because he's Gumiho. He's the Gumi God. That does it for us today. If you guys are fresh here, we were just covering that set of replays after the tournament was over. And now I'm going to head out. We do have a Yeehaw redemption, but as it's 10 o'clock at night, I am going to neglect to Yeehaw right now. Colin MJ. Come back earlier in the day, and I might give you a Yeehaw. Also, I woke up the cat with a Yeehaw last week, and I felt bad, and I still kind of feel bad. If you want to watch me wake up the cat with a Yeehaw, it's in my Twitch clips, but it's also on my YouTube. And my TikTok, which is a thing that I guess I'm posting on there sometimes. I don't know, man. I'm not a Zoomer. I don't get it. I really just, like, I'll make a YouTube short, and then I'll just put it on TikTok. Might as well. I don't know. I'm not getting anything from it, but might as well do it, right? One day I'll figure out TikTok. Reapers, I hate them. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. All right, we're going to rate somebody up. Thank you guys again for hanging out. If you guys want to support the KSL, check out the Patreon. Check out the Matcherino. I would appreciate it if you guys hit that claim code button and just added 25 cents to the prize pool for free. I will be back. I'm going to try to cast ESL Korea. It's at 1 a.m. my time, but I think I can do that because it usually only goes until like 4-ish, maybe 4:30. But I feel like I can deal with staying up until like 4:30 or 5 to cast some good StarCraft. So I'm going to try to hit ESL Korea. I have work the next day, so I'm not going to be able to do Europe or NA, but ESL Korea it is. And yeah, you guys have a lovely day. Stay cocky, my friends. Be good. Put this music back on. This music was kind of intense earlier.